So why speak? Like, what are the key reasons you want to speak? Why not, just I don't know, do live Facebook Live for the rest of your life? And we've done a little research, and there's 6 key reasons why people want to speak. First of all, they have a passion and a message. They want the freedom that comes with being a speaker. Of course, they want the money. They want the time to spend doing what they love. They want to be of service. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to speak. And of course, you want less stress, which are also the same reasons that people build a business. This is based on research by the Business Growth Institute. And my question to people is always, how's that working out for you so far? And this is where people go, yeah. Because a lot of times there's a lot of challenge because people don't do things strategically, especially if you're a passion-based entrepreneur, that you're very led by your heart space. And that's where it becomes a bit challenging. And before I give you the typical answers that I get, I really want you to think right now from 1 to 10, how much are you serving your passion? 10 being so well, 1 being the lowest. And then again, from 1 to 10, how much freedom do you really have to do what you love to do? And then, of course, from 1 to 10, are you making the money you want to make? And from 1 to 10, how are you investing your time? Are you chasing your tail? Are you, do you have the time you want to spend doing what you want? And of course, from 1 to 10, how much are you being of service? And from 1 to 10, 10 being really stressed, 1 being not stressed at all, how much stress do you have in life? So really take a second to think about that. Because here's the answers I get when I start working with a lot of especially speakers, right? And the whole paradigm of speaking has changed. Please keep that in mind, that the days that you show up, get a fee, are very limited. Like right now, speaking is part of your strategy. It can't be the only strategy. So here's what I get. The reality, people that are passionate, they start to lose it. They're too busy being busy. They don't have a lot of money. They've got no time. They burn out. And of course, less stress. Yeah, right. Very stressed out. And the way to counter that is through the strategy. Now, one of the key things that I get, of course, is how do I get more clients? These are the 3 questions we tend to solve when we do things strategically. How do I get more time? A lot of people are consumed by their business. They don't have any time to themselves. And of course, how do I make more money to sustain that? And those are the 3 key things this strategy really helps with. I just want to think a second right now, how are you getting clients? Are you selling from stage? Are you doing lots of webinars? Are you doing everything? And is the message landing to the right people? How are you getting clients right now? Really look at what's working. And of course, here's the brave thing. Look at what isn't. Hope isn't a strategy. Being passionate about something isn't a strategy. Having a website up, hoping people will land on it isn't a strategy. What are you doing right now that is working to get clients? What isn't? Because that's what you need to address. So this is our solution. This is the strategy system. This is how you supercharge your speaking business. And I'm going to go through it throughout this webinar. And of course, if you have any questions, I'll give you my email to reach out to me. So there's 3 key parts to this. The first part is the heartbeat part of your speaking strategy. So the purpose piece isn't your purpose in life. It's the purpose of why it's a business. You see, as a speaker, you need to think of yourself as a business, and the business offers speaking, right? That is really important. Stop thinking yourself as a speaker and focus on being a business owner that offers speaking. So the purpose piece is really why you exist as a business. And there's 5 components to that. Passion. Who do you want to impact? What are the services you're going to offer now and moving forwards? What is the financial aspect of building? Are you 6-figure, 7-figure? And of course, there's the lifestyle piece. What's the lifestyle that you want the business to support? Then there's the value, the strategic values. What do you stand for? And that creates the culture and the team you want to build. And then vision is vision. So I don't need to go through that. But what is important is the vision is in line with purpose. The next part is the blueprint. And this is where a lot of speakers get it wrong. And please be honest with yourself while you're watching this webinar. Do you know who your ideal client is? Do you know who your avatar is? We call them avatar. Who is your ideal client that you want to be in front of, speaking, serving, creating products for? Are you in front of them, or are you just grabbing as much speaking opportunities as possible? See, Tonya has incredible range of clientele on her list because she has an incredible range of speakers, right? So she really knows the different levels of clientele on her list and the people that enroll into her membership. They all need a different service. Do you know who your ideal client is? I know exactly who my ideal client is, which is why this business, the strategy business, has grown very quickly in 2 years. It's gone from literally a complete concept to 6 figures plus as a result of doing this research. Now, once you know who your ideal client is, you've got to understand what pain you are solving as a speaker with your message, with whatever it is you're doing. You've got to understand what you are doing through your speaking to solve their pain. You also must do the research to make sure that your message is landing on the right audience, and that's the audience you want to attract. So this is Paul, someone I work with. He was one of my mentees. Paul came to me and we really looked at his messaging. We looked at his avatar, as we call them. And we really started to analyze the whole customer journey. So much so that we're able to place his product as a preventative product, which meant he could go and say, look, I know what's going to happen to you. And I can do this for you so it doesn't happen. And he would charge up to 30,000 pounds, which is about 45,000 US dollars, to prevent people from having certain things happen to them, which trebled his turnover, which meant he's a millionaire. And he picked up the phone. He's like, hey, Elliot, you told you you're going to make me a millionaire. You've made me a millionaire. Thank you. And that's a great story. I really wish I had him on retainer, but that's Paul Garrigan. And he is now a millionaire as a result of doing this research. The next part of it, of course, is, you've got to organize your offerings, your products, your services according to the demand of your avatar, according to the demand of your clients. You might be the most amazing speaker in the world, but if your offering isn't landing on the right audiences, you either attract the ones you don't want, the ones who don't want to pay you, right? Or the ones that suck the energy out of you, the whole energy vampire people. Those are the ones I'm talking about. That's why you need to organize your offering according to what your avatar wants, and that's according to knowing exactly what pain you're dealing and what it is you're solving by you being a speaker. So this is key. Please, please, please. It's not what you're told to make, it's what your customer will buy. Next thing, of course, is measure your marketing. Really look, speaking is a form of marketing. Yes, it's a form of selling. You've got to measure everything. How many people in the room, how many people bought, how many people showed up, how many people converted, what's the length of their lifetime as a customer. Measure everything. And I do mean everything. This is where you need to become data anal. Yes, you've got to become anal about your data. This is an essential part of your strategy. Once you understand the figures, the data, you're then able to understand what is working really well and what isn't. Yes, a lot of times I get, why isn't it converting? Why aren't people showing up? Why isn't there? I've put all these things together and people aren't buying. That's because you haven't asked, you haven't checked, you haven't done the research. You haven't looked what is working, what isn't. Where do people fall off? Where do people stick? This is all part of you measuring your marketing. So this is Harriet, and she was a health coach. And she came to me. She already had a few clients. She was a speaker, but she wasn't attracting the right people. She really struggled to get people to convert in her discovery session. Again, we went back to the client. Who's her ideal client? What's the language they respond to? What is it they want to hear? What's the services they want to be offered? We did that. And now Harriet is one of the most booked up speakers in the UK on her topic. It's Harriet Wiley Cohen. For those who want to check her out, she speaks every week. She's moved to do more emotional intelligence. She's moved to do a lot more stuff about self-worth because her avatar wanted that, and that's in line with who she is. So I can't stress enough how much that's going to supercharge your speaking strategy. And then once you know all this information, then you can streamline, then you can scale, then you can pump your $10,000 into Facebook. Then you can do what needs to be done because you know it works. In the long run, this will save you a lot of money, get you the right clientele, and make you a lot of money. So that's the strategy system as such. And this is why this is so important. Now, there's very little I can convey to you on this, but the last part of the strategy system is the game plan. And that's the 5 strategies. So once you know who you are as a business, what you stand for, even if you're up and running right now, please review this. I do this with business owners who are at startup. I do it with business owners that 8 million turnover or more, the heartbeat piece. What is the purpose? Why do you exist? Yeah, I always start with that. We always go back to basics. I've given you the blueprint, and now it's what we call the game plan. And those are the 5 strategies: sales, marketing, operations, finances, and people. I'll say that again. What's your sales strategy? What's your marketing strategy? What's your operational strategy to support your sales and marketing? What's your financial strategy? What's your pricing strategy? And then, of course, what's your people strategy? Are you recruiting the right team? Are you doing all by yourself? Are you overwhelmed, high and poor because you're doing everything yourself? Yeah, those are the 5 strategies for the game plan. The 5 strategies is what you use to execute and reach your avatar, build your brand, and market to them. Your roadmap to being on purpose and building your lifestyle lies in having a strong heartbeat piece to your business, a formidable blueprint, and a game plan which you implement and execute. Again, just another example, Jackie and Dave came to me. They were property investors. They built up a property portfolio of 1.3 million pounds very, very quickly in the UK, but they were a mess. They were stressed out, overwhelmed. They were burnt out. Why? Because they didn't have an operational strategy. They didn't have the right people in place to take away what they didn't want to do. And they were speaking as well, so they were overwhelmed. They didn't have a strong message to attract people to speak, and they were just talking about their success. We looked at who it is they wanted to attract, because they also started to mentor. We looked at the messaging. We looked at everything. But one thing we looked at the most was their lifestyle that they wanted to create. This is 2 years ago. What they do now is they work 6 weeks and take a holiday every 2 weeks, because their business now is built to support their lifestyle. And now they only invest in projects which are 2 million plus, because it gives them the return they want. And that's all because of the strategy we did together. This stuff works. This stuff is what supercharges your strategy. So that's basically the essence of supercharging your strategy.